I think we're good to get started here. My name's Ryan Krattiger. I'm at Kitware, and I'll be introducing the Binaries working group that got approved at the end of last year. So, great success. We're a working group now. So like I said, I'm the lead of the Binaries working group. I used to be a CFD researcher. That didn't last. I now build things. I work on the software solutions team at Kitware. I'm a SPAC maintainer. I have my email and GitHub on there for you. So I stole these slides from my TAC presentation for the first half, and the second half is just a brief set of updates. Some of the challenges for binaries and HPC are we can't just build everything generic. We have a lot of dimensionality, a lot of very specific, bespoke things we want to optimize for. We need that. And each of these ecosystems, they have very, I have snowflakes on here. There are a lot of snowflake situations when you get into HPC. Which makes it difficult to build things, difficult to put binaries on those machines. And then to install things on certain systems, we need to know where they came from. We need a way to track these things. There's some existing work on this and sort of needing that in for HPC. So the current state of the art is you have your operating system provides a cache. You have pip wheels with sort of varied success there. There's a Wheel Next project that's currently doing some work to improve that situation, but they're still a ways out from getting everything we need. Vendors provide some things from their downloads pages. But again, these are going to be very generic, not necessarily providing what you need. And then build it from source. SPAC lets you build things from source. It's great. That's still not always the easiest thing to do. And then, as a user, if you run into issues, this can become problematic. So, what do we need? We need something that provides compatibility, portability, optimizations, and features. Right? These are all the things we want. We want to color the whole circle. We don't want to pick two. We need a standardized way to define system-installed software. So when we bring the binaries in, we can pick up those specialized, optimized things from those Snowflake environments. And then, SBOMs, what's installed, how we would track that. So for the binaries working group, some of the things we can do is sort of cover these areas. Build communities around software stacks. Radius was a good example yesterday, talking about how to do that. E4S is another one. Compatibility, sort of translation layers from, the build farms that we have that can create binaries and the systems we're going to, and the trust and security pipelines to make sure we're getting what we expect. And so sort of just saying that all again, facilitating communities, sort of setting compatibility, reducing burden on the people maintaining these systems. They have a lot to do. Building your special piece of software is going to be sort of on you, or you need to go somewhere else. And then socializing these security best practices across projects. Okay, so that was the TAC presentation, more or less. Get into the updates. So where are we? So right now we're collecting people and experience. We're working on getting presentations of what people are doing around binaries and binaries for HPC platforms, and trying to figure out where do we begin. This is a lot of stuff to sort of address, and we're still very early on this timeline. This is not to scale. So for those who are taking score, starting in January, 3 months in HPSF, we're a third of the way, not quite. The next things we really need to start doing is continue the community building, defining standards, and once we sort of know where we want to begin, sort of creating proposals around these things. And tomorrow, HPC binaries everywhere. So who's been involved? We've got a great group of people so far. We got people from a bunch of labs, Easy Build, the Easy project in Europe. We've been in contact with them. A number of the projects here under HPSF, HPC Toolkit, COCOS, and SPAC. And so I think this is a great start, and everybody's bringing a lot of really good ideas. So I'm very excited about what we're doing. I couldn't figure out how to integrate this to do a live poll today, so I'll post this. It's posted in the working group chat, and I'll post it again. But this is the very first day we did a word cloud poll, like what are people interested in, and this is what we got. Easy is very interesting. They do a lot of binary distribution stuff, so people are very interested in what they're doing. And then yes, portability, optimization, containerization, interoperability, and distributions. And so this is sort of where we've started our conversation. So Easy, they have this layered system that they're using to do this with the compatibility layer and software layers allowing for relocation. SPAC, we're working on something called common stacks. I'll be talking about that in more detail on Thursday. So feel free to come to that talk. And then deployment mechanism. So CERN VMFS, this is out of the CERN group over there, and how they distribute big data all over the place, as well as software. And then also the other content addressed caches like OCI and the SPAC build cache. We talked about those things. Compatibility, ArcSpec. ArcSpec is core to both Easy and SPAC. It's sort of this common thing. There's some in-progress work around GPU architecture detection and compatibility. We've been talking about things like fat binaries for GPUs, as well as OpenMPI for multi-fabric support. And then different types of common translation layers for installed packages. So, how do we know what's compatible with what can we mix together? So there are a few different sort of pathways on that. And then trust and security. This is tough because, a lot of the people working on HPC software are interested in compute and not as much in security. And so there's not a huge wealth of accumulated knowledge how to use the tools that are coming out of like the OpenSSF group. And so sort of talking about how do we build examples, how do we sort of explain these things and help projects adopt these sorts of tools. As well as SBOMs. So SBOMs, everybody wants SBOMs. Who's making SBOMs? There are a few ways to do this. SPAC is SBOMs incoming. I don't know if it got merged. Not yet. OCI has sort of an annotation standard, and Docker has this attestation stuff that they supply for SBOMs. And CMake recently merged some SBOM support as well. And so I'm going to leave the rest of this for questions. But we have alternating meetings with the benchmark working group on Thursdays. Next week, we'll have one on Thursday, 10 a.m. Central. And then we are the working group binaries in Slack. So, thanks. Any questions? I went kind of fast. So.
I saw in your little word cloud that containerization was one of the requested items or items of interest.
Yeah.
And I kind of wonder because I think people from outside of HPC has been mentioned yesterday in some of the panels, and I kind of wonder how far away or what technical difficulties would you see for someone to have write a Docker file, Docker pull something that'll pull from SPAC optimized binaries? Do you think that's something feasible, or would you have to have more insight into SPAC to write that into your various commands to set up your
So we
container?
actually have a couple projects doing that for their CI containers. So one that comes immediately to mind is Audios 2, mostly because I've helped build that with others at Kitware. And so that's what they're doing. They're pulling from the cache to build their CI images from the SPAC cache. And so to do that, they've based their CI image on the same sort of image that we use for SPAC CI, and then they can get all their dependencies that way. So some folks are doing that.
But that still requires you had like a very custom image set up, right? Like it's not like a general purpose. Oh, I SPAC install what I want and it'll get the binaries it needs. Like, there's some metadata of saying that this image needs to be for this architecture. So that's kind of what I'm trying to get at. It's like so someone who isn't deeply involved in SPAC can just get like a machine optimized image. That makes sense.
Improving reuse from the build cache is a high priority thing for the SPAC team. So this is, yeah, it's a long answer. It's a long answer. Maybe we take that offline.
During the CI working group, I had one bullet point on there of, I want to work with the binaries team and the benchmarking team. How do you see that? Do you think there's opportunities for cross-working group collaboration? Are we all completely separate silos? Are we trying to do the same thing in different ways? How do you see that going?
Yeah, so I didn't say it explicitly, but sort of implicitly, it's about building these communities, right? And so we need somewhere to build binaries, and the CI working group and at UO at the Frame cluster, we're doing a lot with them to do that work of actually creating these binaries. As well with the benchmarking working group, we've had some collaboration with them already, talking about what matters for optimization, and so there's a lot of intermingling in these working groups, and as we're all figuring out how we want to do things, we're keeping in touch with each other. So this is, yeah, we are not in silos. You could draw a overlapping Venn diagram for sure.
I was happy to see CERN VMFS on there. And I know Izzy has had good things with that. I just wanted to add a few more good points to that. Is in addition to the distribution, you get it to all the HPCs at once. It's also a performance to be able to get it to all the nodes. It's also has that, and it also has the security built in because it's all signed and everything. So that's all taken care of. So just wanted to make those points, and I'll probably start to especially join the meetings when you're talking about that. So.
Yeah, definitely. I think we're trying to get the CERN VMFS guys to come and give a presentation with more details about what they're doing and how they're doing it.
Okay, so I could probably give the presentation too, but
Perfect. But yeah, let me know, because we are looking for people to present ideas and stuff. I have a rough schedule. It's currently needing help. I'm the only one signed up. So yeah, if you have ideas or technologies and stuff you want to present on, please join us and present that. All right. I don't see any more questions. But yeah, I appreciate everybody. Thank you very much.